Hi and welcome. This is a quick demo on how to program the Eurolight LC2412 DMX light controller, and you can see I've got a demo set up behind us with two Chauvet 4-bar lights, and I've also got two American DJ Pars Tri7Xs LCD par lights underneath it. Right now they're all on automatic mode that I'm controlling through the DMX controller. The 4-par lights have 15 channel DMX, and the American DJ lights have 7 channels, and you can set the address to the first channel for each group, and then or for each fixture, and then it automatically sets the remaining addresses for the other channels. So for example, on the 4-pars, they are set to channel 1, and since they have 15, they then occupy channels 1 through 15, DMX addresses 1 through 15. And on the par cans, those have 7 channels, so their first channel is set to, or first address is set, the address of their first channel is set to 16, and then they occupy 16 through 22. So the way I've got it laid out on the board is I've got the Chauvet lights down here, and I've got the red, green, and blue on one set of channels for 2 lights, and then red, green, and blue for the other 2 lights. So lights 1 and 3 are on these channels, lights 2 and 4 are on these channels. So I will come out of this auto mode now, and I'll show you. I've got red on these channels for those 2 lights, and these channels for those 2, green on these 2 channels, channels 2 and 5, and I've got blue on channels 3 and 6. And then if I jump up to this side, I've got red on channel 1, which is actually 13, green on channel 14, and blue on channel 15. So now I will show you how to program those. Okay, so now we're ready to start programming, and generally if you've been trying some of the things or whatever, it might be a good idea to clear out the memory, and that's pretty easy to do. You'll use the soft A and soft B switch at the same time, and you'll also use the channel switch over here for number 1. So you press all 3 of those at the same time, and here's what you get when you do that. Soft A, soft B, and 1. It displays Behringer and the version number, and then you can use the control wheel, and if you rotate counterclockwise, you'll see it says delete all. If you use the soft A or soft B switch, they'll correspond to what's directly above it on the LCD. So in this case, the soft B would be saying yes, you'd say yes, and then it asks you to confirm really all. You can say yes or no. I'm going to say no because I don't really want to clear my memory, but if you did, you just select yes and it would do it, and then you'll be done and ready to go. So from here, we're going to start programming, and we'll primarily start with the utility 2 switch, and then we'll be using the soft A and B and the control knob. So if you select utility 2, you can see it says DMX patch or more. And we're going to choose patch, and now it's going to display the channel. Now here's a bit of nomenclature. I'm going to use channel to associate with the channel on the board. So if we go back over here and we look at the board, we have 24 channels. Each slider is a channel, and you access 1 through 12 by pushing these buttons down here. So that'll give you channels 1 through 12, and then you use the upper selector and push the same buttons to get 13 through 24. So 13, 14, 15, and in fact you would select it 13, 14, 15 to select down here. So here's what we do. Right now it's displaying channel 1, and it's showing that for the channel, which is on the board, we have DMX address 4 and 10 assigned to channel 1. So that's channel 1 over here. Say if I'm interested in looking at channel 2, I push channel 2, and now you see it switches to channel 2, and it's showing I have DMX address 5 and 11 selected. So I'm going to go back to channel 1, and you can see channel 1. And now, if I didn't want to have address 4 or address 10, I will go, right now this is showing DMX address 10 is in use on channel 1. I would open it and see it removes it from there. So now I'll go down to number 4, in use on channel 1, if I open that. Now it's showing channel 1 with DMX address not used. DMX address 4 is not used, so I can connect it. I do actually want this one connected, so I'll connect that. And then I want to go back up and I need to pick up number 10. So here's DMX address number 10. It's not used. I'm going to connect that as well. Now I'm done. Say I'm done with channel 1. I want to look at channel 2. In order to get this back to channel 2, I go back over here and I push button number 2. Now you can see it says channel 2 and it's showing DMX address 5 and 11 assigned to that. Remember, I'm still on the DMX address that's selected in the bottom here was still on number 10 because that's the last one I did, and it shows it's in use on channel 1. And if I roll up, 11 is in use on channel 2, just like we see. 12 is in use on channel 3. 13 is in use on channel 4. 15 is in use, or 14 is in use on channel 5. So that's how you read that. Now if I want to access channel 13, I'm going to go over here to the upper switch and then select number 1. Now see, that will show me channel 13, and I have DMX address number 16 assigned to it. If I go up here, 16, it shows it's in use on channel 13, and I can open it or I can connect it, and I want to leave it connected. So that is how you get the DMX addresses assigned to the individual channels. And then when you're finished assigning addresses, you can just go quit. And at any time, you can go back to Utility 2 and then go back in and reselect your addresses and work with them again. That's it. Alright, last but not least, we'll have a quick little episode of why aren't my lights working. And here's just a few things to look out for. As I mentioned, I've got my Chauvet set up this way. I've got a main control light. If I have that main dimmer down, then my light controls aren't going to do anything. And I might be wondering why until I remember to raise that up. The other one is there's a main dimmer over here that controls the whole board and dims it down. And then the other two are, there's an A and a B over here. I'm going to dim that down just a little bit. B dims the lower part of the board over here, so that's going to dim out the Chauvets. If that's not raised, those won't come on. And A dims out the upper part of the board, so in this case the park ends go out. So you got to watch both of those are in the right position, which I just generally leave them up unless I want to fade something out. And the other thing is the bank. If it goes off of P, you'll notice, which is program, I believe, I've lost control of half of the board, so I need it to be on P, and then it'll come back in a second. So that's it. Those are some of the main things that I know to look out for. Hopefully you'll get something good out of this video and have fun with your light board.